Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, the only show where you never know when the fuck we're going to start or how early we're going to start. Of course, our regular time is 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It is 7:21, so we're coming a little bit early, 9 minutes early, right here on YouTube. Well, of course, Matt's back this week, so
of course I'm back, baby.
He's back, and of course, Caitlin Bell is going to be our special guest host tonight. Of course, Caitlin was on a couple months ago. We all clicked really cool. So
she's a rather nice lady.
Yeah. So she's going to come on and
she's got nice
guest spot tonight. And
Which
then
is
also Sherry Nelson is returning as well, who is also equally as awesome. Sherry.
Yeah. It's been a while, Sherry.
It's been a minute. Yeah, she was supposed to be a part of the last HH Pod Rumble, but she wasn't able to make it. So, and actually that is coming up. Like, if you stay tuned to all of our social medias, we have probably almost 20 participants announced right now for the HH Pod Rumble. And I'm going to try to keep it at 30, but it may go to 31 or 32. So, and that, like, basically what it's going to be is this year, of course, I said it's going to be the two saves. So the two saves, which is the Kofi Kingston and the hot tag. So they're going to be the two saves. But what it's going to be this year,
one get person?
Yeah, each person gets one. So if they don't use them, they're gone. Like, they don't get recycled to anybody else. And I think when we use the Incoherent cards, everybody gets out. Me or you will have one of our phones and we'll set a 60-second timer. They have 60 seconds to answer their card. If they don't, they have to use one of their saves, or they're eliminated. Or if they don't have saves, they're eliminated. Plain and simple, 60 seconds. And that way it doesn't drag on, forever. It's bam, 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 bam. And just like the regular Royal Rumble, whoever are number one and number two are at the biggest disadvantage, because first card, second card, and it's going to go in order, and the third person. And then what happens is, as it goes along, we're going to go back to number one, and then so on and so forth, unless they get hot tagged around. But whoever is number one is at the disadvantage because they can't use a hot tag. Well, actually, no. Number two is kind of at the disadvantage because those two can use the hot tag or whatever their saves bouncing off of each other as the first two there, because you can only use those on active participants. You can't select someone who hasn't actively been entered into the Rumble to use one of your saves unless they've already entered in. So it makes sense. It makes you kind of think as you go along, but also it makes it kind of challenging. So make sure, for anybody new tuning in, the HH Pod Rumble is going to be June 9th, 6/9, live right here on YouTube, Friday, June 9th, 8:00 p.m. Eastern. 30 former guests coming back right here on Happy Hour Podcast. And the winner will get a championship belt, just like Johnny Goodluck did last year. And of course, Jason Rushman, he's already in the stream. What's going on, Jason? I saw the video earlier. Thanks for always posting the little videos on Twitter. I honestly, I feel like I want to get Jason made up a Happy Hour Podcast #1 fan t-shirt and take it to him at Exotica, because he's here every single episode, so I definitely, everybody who tunes in and, likes the show and all that, of course, Exotica is going on right now. The first Exotica of the year is happening right now in Chicago. So, anybody in the Chicago area, go over. If you've never been to Exotica, even if you're not into like adult oriented content, go check out Exotica. It is a cool ass event. It is something that you'll never forget. Yeah. It's, so,
I think next year, this year, well, it would be next year, but this time I actually might bring my wife to it.
So. Oh yeah. I think Jess wants to. Actually, we have a handful of people who said they want to go. Actually, Pontius said she wants to go. Tommy Simbazo and Eric said that they wouldn't mind going. So entourage. That's the whole thing. But it's like, hey, whatever else happens, those two press passes we get, those are ours. Like, I'll pay for Jess. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But, everybody else, you come, you got to pay, because we only get 2 press passes. And I was telling you a little bit before we started, I watched Cocaine Bear over actually on my birthday. Just so, is there anything you want to watch? Because my birthday was on Wednesday.
Oh, well, happy birthday, right?
Well, thank you. And she was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, I don't want to do anything. I want to do the same basic stuff. I'm 38. I'm over the whole birthday craze thing. So, she got me a couple of gift cards, and then, she's like, well, what do you want to watch? And I was like, I want to watch Cocaine Bear. And I loved it. I loved it. Like, because of course we talked about Cocaine Bear right here on the show. And you know, the real Cocaine Bear, and we are like, hey, the movie's coming out. And I wanted to see it. And it's one of those movies that if you go into it expecting absolutely nothing, it's a phenomenal movie.
Right. Yeah.
But just seeing the look in that bear's eyes when it sees and when it takes the cocaine, like, I mean, that bear's eyes looks the way that I used to when I would go into the strip club all the time after wrestling shows, just looking around like, you know, like, oh man, there's more, they're everywhere.
That's probably what I look like at Exotica last. I mean, last time I went,
that's what you look like every time you put on your VR headset.
I was fucking gone, dude. But yeah, it's funny because when we were reading that article, I was like, it sounded like it would be a good movie. So,
oh yeah,
I'm not surprised that they made a movie out of it. Yeah, I was surprised when it first announced. I was all like, they actually are gonna make a video or a movie about that.
Here's the thing, and in case anybody has not yet watched Cocaine Bear, there's a little bit of a spoiler. There may be another one.
Oh shit!
I'm not gonna say how or why, but there may be another Cocaine Bear movie, Cocaine Bear 2, that comes out, because and of course that was also one of Ray Liotta's final movies as well. Ray Liotta died this year, and that was one of the last movies he filmed. So but yeah, so you know, it was interesting seeing him in that, and it was interesting. But I think like Elizabeth Banks, it's crazy because I'm used to seeing her as an actress, but her in her directorial debut, you know, she did Cocaine Bear. It was a product of her. You know, it was great seeing that. And there's our guest Sherry Nelson, who hey, how are you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Great. I was just we always, like, it's weird with the show. Like I said, it's the opposite of a pro wrestling show. Pro wrestling shows always start late. We always start early. So we started like 9 minutes early. I was telling Matt and everybody watching at home that I watched Cocaine Bear on Wednesday, and it was amazing. Like, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but just some of like I don't know if you're into horror or anything like that, but if you're into like really weird, gruesome deaths,
it seemed like a pretty gruesome.
Like, put it this way: guy goes to hide from a coked out bear in a tree, and then the bear's like, "Oh, you forget bears can climb, but also I'm hopped up on cocaine." And imagine being in a tree and having a bear hopped up on cocaine come after you. Like, in the trailer, they showed a scene where scary. They were in an ambulance and the bear's chasing the ambulance. That whole 15-minute sequence of that is the best part of the whole movie. Like, it's just chaos the entire time. And it's like, holy shit. But Sherry, of course, it's been a while since you've been on the show. It's been a little bit over a year. Of course, we like to try to bring back former guests after a while. I think the last time we talked to you, weren't you stuck in the States? Like, you couldn't get back into Canada due to COVID or something like that?
No, the opposite. I was in Canada and I couldn't come south, but I'm here. I've been here for a little while now and I love it. There's palm tree out my window, so I'm in Las Vegas and I love it.
Oh, awesome. Actually, our guest host, when she comes through, Caitlin Bell, she lives in Vegas as well.
She does. I wondered if she did, because we've got some mutual fondness for things. And I thought, yeah, I thought LA, but yeah, no, I'm excited to meet her.
Yeah, well, it's funny because you guys it was announced, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that you guys are now officially getting a baseball team. So there's already hockey. There's, now football. Oakland Raiders went to football, but now the Oakland A's are slated to go to Las Vegas. So I don't know if they're going to stay as the Las Vegas Athletics. That doesn't roll off the tongue right, but it's going to be interesting to see them go there. They want to build a stadium, have it done by 2027. So I would love to go to that stadium once it's built and see the Las Vegas A's play the Orioles. And,
and the current mayor, I've actually printed this off for you. So me and my fun facts.
Oh, nice.
Husband was the mayor of Las Vegas before her, and he didn't go anywhere without 2 showgirls and a martini. Didn't matter if it was in the United States, if it was in Europe, he always went somewhere with that. And I thought that's the kind of mayor I like. And they are definitely a do something powerhouse, like with Formula One coming. The roads are blocked off temporarily, but they do really fast work here. So I think Formula One, they're going to race through town. So they'll be going past the Luxor and all the infamous, and then of course we've got Super Bowl coming in February.
Well, it's funny because we had something like the Formula One thing here in Baltimore, and it was fucking chaos. Like, I'm not sure if you've ever been to Baltimore City, but those cars flying throughout the city, like, the squeegee kids should be lucky that they weren't there during Formula One, because they just like boom, 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 past them holding their squeegees, like, oh, what's happening? Like, because it just, I think, like, it.
No, think about it.
To the city, parts of the street is still painted up from when they did that. But it became such a hassle. Like, if you did anything in a city, you couldn't deliver down there, and you couldn't do this, you couldn't do it became such a bitch. The deal,
Well, now that you're talking, I was just thinking now, the ideal seat for that would probably be rent a helicopter. You know, the helicopter tours they have, and get an aerial view of the race.
And of course, we're here live on YouTube Live. Everybody, make sure if you're here, comment in the thread. We'll be sure to answer it. And Sherry, if there's any questions for you. So of course, Jason Rushman, he said happy belated birthday, Ray. His is in 2 weeks on May 8th. So happy birthday, Jason. And then he said, hi, Sherry. Hope you're having an awesome night. And Dawn Hinton is also here. Hello, Dawn. How are you? Thanks for joining us live. And what we're going to go ahead and roll in everything. Sherry, of course, since the last time you've been on the show has changed so much. Like, before we would script everything. And of course, when you came on, like, you kind of like flipped the script because you had like your own trivia stuff. Like, you kind of interviewed us as we were interviewing you, which was kind of cool, and it caught us off guard, which is what we like with this show, because we do it live and we have no script, we have no context, we do a little bit of a preview. But what I'm going to get into first is one of the things that we had on the preview, and that is, have you ever heard of Dr. John R. Brinkley?
Are you jumping right into that?
Yes, I'm jumping right into this, right off the top.
No, I was reading about him, and it's interesting because there's some parallels with the after effect of his professional to what we're seeing today.
Well, it's funny because
what he does.
What is he got his doctorate degree in Milford, Kansas in 1916, and he opened a 16-room clinic, and he took care of people when the flu broke out in 1918, the flu stuff. And pretty much what he did is, men who had, I guess, ball problems, he would sit there and go, hey, I can fix this, correct all of your stuff. And he was pretty much taking testicles from a goat and transferring the testicles to human men. And it's like, so he was transferred, and he got his diploma through diploma mills. So way back in the day, you would have a diploma mill.
Diploma mill?
I guess.
Is that like the Cracker Jack box?
I guess so.
Well, that's what I learned today. I was reading about it, and you know how everybody says it's difficult when you're messaging people, and interpretation is everything, or words matter. So I was reading on one site, and it said he got his degree at the University of Arkansas, that was also recognized, or Kansas, that was recognized in Arkansas and Texas. But then you go to Wikipedia and they're calling him a quack and all these goofy things, but yet this other site was saying he was ahead of his time. So and they even started criticizing his father for having 5 wives. And that reminded me of when Elon Musk took over Twitter, when he purchased it, and everybody, well, not everybody, I apologize, certain media outlets were condemning him for having so many children. And, and I thought, what does that have to do with what he hopes for his new platform? So, but, I don't begrudge those men with the testicles, because, well, look at women, we all, and it's your manhood, right? So that's your ultimate.
Well, it's funny because it said he was treating about 50 new patients a week who traveled across eager to pay $750, which is $9,000 today for the goat gland
So
operation.
this took place when?
This was 1918, like around
Holy
1918.
shit.
Yeah. So goat gland operation, which he
100
transplanted
years ago.
the goat testicles into men. And it says, although Brinkley initially promoted his procedure as a means of curing male impotence, he eventually claimed that the technique was a virtual panacea for a wide range of male ailments. The placebo effect often convinced Brinkley's patients that their potency had been restored. Unfortunately, 42 men died from infections following their operation.
Holy shit.
So like that's almost like could you like so how does that work? So he has his goat, like I'm hoping that like the goat testicles are already removed. Like I'm hoping you don't get there and then you're just laying in bed and you have an IV in your arm and you just look over and there's a goat laying next to you with an IV in its leg and I'm like, man, you're looking like you're staring at the goat's testicles and you're like, those are gonna be in me. I'm gonna have those and my junk's gonna work right again. I don't understand.
And how did he determine the goat? Okay, your male audience out there, you've got to submit. Would you prefer a bull or a Clydesdale? You know?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? You come swinging with a big ass bull.
Matt, what would you want?
Like I don't know. I think I would rather have ram testicles. Have you ever seen ram testicles before? Oh man, rams have like gigantic nut, like they have like duck pinball sized nuts, and like it's crazy because
I'm thinking I'm gonna go with hippopotamus.
While I was doing the research on John R. Brinkley, while I was looking stuff up, I came across that they actually made something on him through the Sundance Film Festival, and there's a trailer, but the first 5 seconds of this trailer stood out to me. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to show the trailer here. So if anybody wants to know about John R. Brinkley, so here's the trailer right here. Of course, this is vice.com. So this tells a little bit about John R. Brinkley right here. So let me go ahead, blow this up right here. And this is.
Oh. Yeah, we're getting banned.
Yeah.
Cure your impotence. You want me to implant goat testicles into you?
Well, doctor, it can't be worse than the nuts I got.
Well,
Oh shit.
This is through Vimeo. So like this totally allowed. And it's medical, so you can't get in trouble for any of that stuff.
It's medical.
herd of goats out back.
Oh shit.
The patient would select a goat with which he felt the most connection, and then they would.
Whoa.
The connection.
My wife just gave birth to our first child.
It's a goat.
Goat lands in my throat. It's so working.
I'd show all of you right now if the ladies were present.
Are they shutting you down?
Are they being chased by a train? Like,
I highly doubt it.
Did you learn it in school?
Of course not.
Then how do you know it works?
He had a sort of weird sex appeal. He was kind of like the Dr. Ruth Westheimer of the 20s and 30s. He was already grooming himself for the next move.
he looks a little bit like Colonel Sanders
He
in these
does.
illustrations.
He had a million ideas.
He made chicken out of the goats after he took their nuts.
He saw the future.
So
He
there
definitely looks like Colonel Sanders. You get your bucket of chicken and a nut surgery.
So that is
You
the
get-
trailer for
You get a
nuts.
free fucking chicken with your nut surgery.
So that is so wait, so that gave me a lot more insight. So you need to have an emotional connection to the goat. So I guess do you just like this is almost like going into like a gorilla pen at the zoo. Like I guess do you have to go in there and like you have to like make friends with the goat? Like
Listen,
it comes over.
you are about to steal that goat's nuts. The least you could do is make friends with it.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, and if you're checking, okay, we've narrowed it down to the goat, but would you want your wife there to help select with the goat? Because when some women go for implants, don't they take their boyfriend to help select? So but again, back then, the man did what, I'm not emasculating anything here, but I just wonder, today, would you take your wife to go help select?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
100%. Like, but I'm visualizing like a man holding a goat by the scruff of his neck, like up like this, and he's just staring at its privates, and he's like, "These nuts aren't for me." And he puts it down, and then he picks up another one.
Yeah.
And like, imagine.
I mean, you bring
like,
your wife in, right? And
do
you're
you-
just like, so think about these nuts hitting the back of your chin. You know, just think, can you handle these nuts?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
grab this goat's nuts and let me know if it feels like me. Like what? Like I don't understand. Like so the infections happen. Of course, we had the article of the man who got the pig heart transplant.
Jeez, Chris.
You know,
I hope we don't
like,
get flagged for
but-
bestiality.
well, we're not, because like it's an actual trailer, but like that's the thing. Like, you know, like the only thing you can get in trouble for is if it's like actual, like real, like an image of like male. Like if I were to stand up and show my genitalia right now, like yeah, then YouTube would flag that. But that's education.
Dude was smart. Though.
like,
he had his
you know,
own fucking goat
well,
farm.
he also created a radio station as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, smart.
So let's see, where the hell was it?
Yeah, because he was in Texas, and they said it was a super blaster that shot across the Rio Grande in New Mexico. They could hear it, and some could hear the radio in Kansas. So
yeah, and he also ran for like office of some
really?
kind. Well, yeah, afterwards he turned to politics, conducting a vigorous writing campaign for Kansas governor in 1930. Brinkley garnered nearly 30% of the vote after 2 subsequent unsuccessful campaigns for office. He shifted his headquarters to operation in Del Rio, Texas, where he built what would become the radio station Zara in Villa Acuna across the border in Mexico. So, yeah, I mean, this man, like, and apparently, like, he also sued the Journal of American Medical Association for $250,000, which is $4,250,000 in current value. But then suing trial, Brinkley was linked to the diploma mill, and it was finally found out that he had no formal medical training, resulting in the collapse of his practice. So imagine that. So imagine, like, so 48 men died from his goat testicle procedure. Imagine surviving and then finding out that he didn't have.
Because that was 100 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So today's medicine, like, you know, antibiotics are so much far advanced now. Like those, those poor 48 guys or whatever.
Today, you don't have to become friends with the goat. They just give you the testicle. That's it. They're just like, all right, we're just gonna put these in. Like,
well,
I mean,
right?
you
Because they died of infection. Yeah. Like the antibiotics would take care of that pretty easy.
I mean, shit. It's the kind of thing like, what is it? What the hell is it called when you have the operation as a man?
Vasectomy?
Yeah, when you have a vasectomy, I heard that's like a quick, like you're in and you're out in like 30 minutes. Like that's so. You know,
things have changed a lot, even with like when girls get like C-sections. Used to be they cut you wide open, man.
Oh yeah.
Now it's just a small little incision.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's the thing, and it's like here's the thing, and we've asked this before on the show when we had the guy with the pig heart on. So Sherry, if you ever faced down a situation where you had to get something transplanted from an animal onto you, what would you choose?
The animal and the organ?
That just whatever. It could be an elephant's trunk hanging out the back of your neck if you want. Like what would it be?
Oh God. Well, already they say some humans, I don't know, pig's tail. No, bunny tail.
Yeah.
It's softer.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like I think I forgot what mine was, but I wouldn't mind having like 2 like horse hooves with like alligator hands, like that, like then that way like you're walking like all weird and awkward and shit. Like I want to be like some sort of fucking freak. Like that's like
I would say goat testicles, but now that I think about it, I would like fully functional wings, like from like a bald eagle.
It's cool.
I can fly now.
Yeah, kind of like what is it? X-Men, the one character Angel, when he had the wings that like came out and shit. Like that would be
shit gets real, I'll just fly away.
Yeah, you just fly around, drop goat testicles to those in need. Like that's and Sherry's probably like, what the hell happened to this show since the last time I was on here?
No, it's good.
So Sherry, of course, what all have you had going on? So of course, it's been a while since you've been on the show. So what all have you had going on?
Not a lot. No, no, I just did a lot of traveling in Canada, visited some family when the lockdown ended. And then I've, like I said, I came down here and yeah, I'm doing good. And I'll be in a movie.
Really?
You're gonna be in a movie?
What movie is that going to be?
Eileen Shapiro is the screenwriter and director, and it's called A Viral Christmas, and we're going to film it in the fall in New York. So it's
Nice.
almost like a modern day take on Miracle on 34th Street, and I get to play a mom.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm a mom, and I used to be in a band. So it's very well written, and it's got multiple layers to it. So I think everybody will enjoy it. It's something that will target each demographic, and you know Eileen, she's a friend to your show, so she's highly intelligent, and but she's got a great sense of humor. But it's going to be a nice movie. I think it's very unique. It's not another repeat or anything like that. I think I hope you'll enjoy it.
There's a lot of remakes going on. Like, I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and I mean, like I feel like the whole thing, like we just saw with John R. Brinkley, like imagine that made into a movie. Like, you know, that's made into a movie. And it's like, you know, if I were to get casted with that, like I would want to be a goat. Like CGI me in as a goat, but like I want to be like the goat that like has to be friended by like the guy. Like they're taking it's the story of me losing my testicles to go into the man that needs the testicles, and like the trials and the tribulations that the goat has to go through for that.
Yeah. Mm.
So, but no, like that sounds pretty
Yeah, it
awesome.
sounds-
Like
that
so
sounds
when
good.
does that start filming?
It said late summer, early fall, so it won't make this year's Christmas film, but next year. And no, you know, like I thought you yeah, when you asked about surprising your wife, sorry, about Taylor Swift tickets, I thought, yeah, you knew I was already down here because she was in town when you asked.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like she's been looking like all over for him, and like it's crazy. Like I've been reaching out to everybody. I'm like, if you know anybody that knows, you know, because it's so hard to find them, and like tickets right now are like thousands of dollars. It's
Well,
fucking
and they had it was such a big deal in Las Vegas, and there's so many big deals in Las Vegas that it really surpassed a lot of things. That when you would be heading out to the freeway, they didn't distract you too much by the wording, but in a sense it was lyrics from certain songs at first. So she totally took over the city, and yeah, it's pretty great.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way WrestleMania is. When WrestleMania goes into a town, like WrestleMania is coming to Philadelphia next year. So they pretty much take over the town. So when you go into Philly, you see WrestleMania stuff everywhere, like literally everywhere. So it's completely insane. But like with that, so like have you had like any of the concerts or anything that you've been to or anything like that? Like have you seen like any like wild stuff? Like I saw one, my wife showed me a video of at one of the Taylor Swift shows. It may have been in Vegas. Somebody came over the railing and like just got murked hard by like her security or whatever and all that. And I'm not sure if it was this tour or the last tour, but like they grabbed her ankle and they just got murked by security and like drug out of there. And I'm like, holy shit.
Oh,
Like
wow.
that guy might be dead.
Yeah, no, I hadn't seen anything like that. But I remember my really good friend Isaiah, his girlfriend is Adele's dresser, and so he was over at my place while her concert was going on, and his girlfriend texts him, and she goes, "Oh, I should be doing this." Anyways, something had happened, and she kind of went quickly through her show, and all of a sudden I get an alert and it says Adele is going very quickly through the show, and he's getting it before I was. It was really interesting. But yeah, it's a small world and over here, but well, you both have a place to stay, so if you guys come this way, you know, you have a place to stay with me.
Awesome.
But I can't recommend it more. And the weekend that I moved here, Mark Wahlberg moved his family here, and I thought, okay, I'm in the right place. And people always say, why Vegas? And I said, well, first my dad will visit, and now I learned everybody wants to come to Vegas. So
yeah, my cousin used to live in Vegas, and it's funny that everybody has the common perception that when you live in Vegas,
You s-
you're like right there in the glitz and glamour. There's
Right.
parts of Vegas that aren't like that's a small area of
Right.
Las Vegas that's like that with the strip and all. There's areas around Vegas where people live that are just
Right.
normal, like other normal places out there. And I think that's the biggest misconception with a lot of that is that people just think,
Well,
oh, yeah, like
yeah. Well, and I've taken videos of things and I've sent them to my friends and they go, it's so clean. And
Yeah.
it is, and it's great. And like I've got a really great trainer, Randy Couture, it's his wife. So
yeah.
she's dynamite, and it's the best of everything here. So some people get a Corvette on a midlife crisis. I come to Vegas.
So did you say your trainer was his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Like, so how did that come to be? So she's your trainer. So I guess, is she your personal
Kim
trainer?
Couture. Yeah, Kim Couture. So my really good friend Elaine Goodlad, she'll stay here. Like if I go somewhere, and she's a makeup artist for a lot of the fitness contests. So she sent me a note and she said, "Are you gonna be in Vegas?" I said, "No, I'm gonna be, somewhere for a week or two." And she goes, "Oh," and I said, "Just stay at my place." So and then it was her, that's her best friend is Kim. So lucky me, she's good. She's good. So I'm getting over the I hurt and I can't walk part, but
Yeah. Now, has she ever sat there and looked at you and went, "Look, if you have any issues at all, I'll tell my husband and he will absolutely destroy whoever you're having an issue with"? Because I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think I would want to fight Randy Couture. Like, I think I would rather be ran over by 13 steamrollers than get punched by Randy Couture. Like that's the thing. Like,
Well, the funny story is I don't know if Randy was there, but a few nights ago they went out for dinner, a group of them, and they were ordering, it was a sports pub, it was probably happy hour. And they said, "We want a beer, but don't bring Bud Light. Because if you do, we're gonna have to take it out back and shoot it." So the poor kid, he comes back shaking with a tray of Bud Light.
Like that's the thing. It's funny. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's just beer. Like, I don't like that's the thing. I think I made the post from our happy hour page that, it could be the kind of thing that I've always been a Bud Light guy. I will always be a Bud Light guy. It's like, I can sit there and drink a Bud Light and have a dick come out of the bottle and go down my throat. It might be a little startling, but I'm probably going to finish my Bud Light because that's how much I like Bud Light. Like, I don't give a shit what's on the can. I'm drinking. Like, it's stupid, but
speaking of which, Ray, what are we drinking right now?
So let's go.
Bongo Fizz.
To our featured beer, which is
Where is that from?
It is by Yingling Brewing Company,
Yuengling,
America's oldest brewery, and it is Bongo Fizz. So of course, this is the third week of Bongo Fizz. And like, I got this the weekend of Easter, and originally the beer I was going to get was supposed to be something that was hoppy because it was Easter, so hoppy. And then I saw Bongo and Fizz sitting together on their little beach chair at the beach, and I was like, "That's it."
And it's got like a mango flavor.
Yes,
it's
it is.
Good.
It is fused with mango, so I like that.
I don't think I would drink this all the time, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you I wondered about that with men. Do you like the fruit in your beer? Like that?
You never fruit the beer, Sherry.
Me, like, I'm weird with pumpkin.
We're men.
Yeah.
We don't fruit the beer.
I
saw what happened to Bud Light.
I don't mind it in beer because really, like, at the end of the day, beer still kind of tastes like beer. What I don't like are the seltzers. Like, there's just so much like fruity seltzer, all that shit out there now. That like beer at the end of the day still tastes like beer unless it has pumpkin in it, because I hate pumpkin anything. I don't eat pumpkin pie. I don't eat pumpkin seeds. I don't drink pumpkin beer. I can't stand the taste of it. I'd rather lick pavement than drink or eat anything.
And honestly, one of my favorite beers is during the summer months is Shock Top.
Shock Top
or Blue Moon.
Yeah,
and those are made with oranges. I'm pretty sure. So
you can't go wrong though. Like, since you brought up seasonal beers, my go-to from Bud Light. Bud Light is my go-to without question. And when we went to Salem, I didn't get to go there, but I wanted to go there because we were up near Boston, was to go to Samuel Adams Brewery and get fresh Oktoberfest.
Right.
Samuel Adams Oktoberfest is my fucking jam.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when we were
Oh,
to the
dude.
Halloween parties?
Why don't you do a show from there? You should do a tailgate party from there.
Well, we actually like I'm kind of behind because April was the designated month for us to get caught up on our backlog guests that we've been trying to get in. So we've been doing double shots, which of course, leading into that, we're going to be live again tomorrow night right here on YouTube Live, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you come check that out. Our featured guest is Sarah St. Clair, and that will be our last consecutive double shot weekend in a while because it kind of caught us up a little bit. But no, like I want to get back into our fully fermented local features, which we go to local establishments and feature them onto the show. I'm trying to get into what is it? Oh shit, it's down near where I work at. The name just slipped out of my mind. But no, I'm gonna be reaching out to the place. Oh, Pools Island Brewing. I want to try to get into Pools Island Brewing, which is one of those self-serve places. Like you go up and like pour your own beer. We had my holiday party there and it was dangerous because you could just go up, put a card in, hit a button and serve yourself beer, much like how you self-serve yourself soda at a restaurant. And it was just kind of like,
that's a good idea, but a terrible idea.
Yeah. Like you just sit there and you're looking at the wall thinking about all your bad life decisions because of how much beer you consumed. And you're like, $400? How did this happen?
Oh
because
my
you
God.
ran up.
Like, I couldn't imagine the tabs in that place.
Oh, I couldn't imagine the tab if it was like 12 years ago or something like that, or 15 years ago. Like it's just completely,
you old man. No,
and speaking of like it's actually funny. I want to shout out real quick. I mentioned my birthday earlier. Of course, Dawn Hinton, she said her birthday was on the 18th. So fellow Aries. So happy birthday, Dawn.
Love you, Dawn. It was her birthday yesterday. She's the best.
So yeah, so I mean it's always it's weird with me, like with birthdays, like I don't get the vibe for it anymore. Like my wife was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I was like, I want to be left alone on my birthday. I don't want to do anything.
Really?
I want to get up and do what I do. I want to get up, make breakfast, go to work, go to the park and walk a little bit, go to the gym, because I've lost like 35 pounds since January. So
I wondered if you did. You look good.
Thank you. Like I want to lose. I want to lose.
And that you got that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like it's funny. Everybody can tell in my face when I shave. Everybody can tell in my face. And it's funny because one of Jess's friends used to say, "It looks like you lost all of your weight in your face, and that's it." And so like. I want to still lose another 20, but it got to the point to where last summer, because COVID happened, I don't wrestle anymore. So, when I wrestled, I could eat or drink whatever I wanted. It didn't matter because I was working out, wrestling, whatever all the time. But, last year it got to the point where I was blowing my buttons off of all of my shorts. And I was like, I can't do this anymore because I don't buy it. Like my wife buys clothes for whatever she does. Like me, I keep it's weird and it's crazy. I have a problem with t-shirts. Like I've always had a t-shirt problem. I have 2 closets. My wife has a whole room, a makeup room. That's where she keeps her clothes. But in our room, we have 2 closets. I have jerseys, like baseball, football jerseys and shirts in one. And then the other is rest. And I'm so OCD with it. Like this t-shirt is from Halloween. When did me and Jess do Punisher and Electro? That was 2017?
That was a while
ago.
So
that was 2017. I used this shirt for my Halloween costume as the Punisher. And it's maybe been worn 3 times because what I do is I go in rotation and wear every single shirt I have in there and then put it in the back. Put that shirt in the back.
Ray, I had no idea.
And I don't try them. So what happens is this shirt may be 3, 4, 5 years old, but it looks brand new because I hang dry them only and they stay in impeccable condition. It is insane. And I'm like, my hats go probably from the floor up to about here, at least 6 stacks high in my closet. I have a hat that matches anything I wear. Like it's insane. Mainly Orioles hats, but like, yeah. And then I wear them all backwards and I wear them all forwards. And it's the same fucking insanity with those. So Sherry, do you have anything like that? Like, do you like sit there and look and go, oh, I have way too many shoes, or I have way too many this, that, or another?
Well, I was actually, I went back home a month ago, and the most amazing people that I met here, Bob and Betty Angold, and they're so great. So they were going to watch the place time to time. So they come in, I show them the place, and one of the reasons why I got the place, it's got a huge walk-in closet. And God bless Bob, he goes, that closet, oh, you got a lot of clothes in there. And I'm like, yeah. It's one of those that I don't know. Yeah, but no, I got a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, it's funny because like I'm one of those guys that I have like maybe 4 pairs of shoes, maybe 5. Like I wear them until I get blown out, buy another pair. Like I'm not like a sneakerhead or anything like that. Like, you know,
I'm
people
not a
are,
big shoe girl. I'm not. I think I don't know what I am.
like
I think I'm a pant girl, maybe. I don't know. Which was useless for the last 2 years. Everything was here up. So
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like it's great. Like my wife loves working from home. She gets to work from home every Tuesday. And like she's just like, all right, whatever, I get to be comfortable, blah, blah. And then like they always do meetings, and she's like, fuck, I still need to do my makeup and all that shit because now I need to do a Zoom interview or whatever, and you know, all that shit. So it's crazy how like much the world has changed over. But since we did our featured beer, so Matt, thankfully the hand grenade vodka is gone.
Oh god.
You hate vodka, so you don't have to drink.
what about the Polo gin?
We will continue on with what we debuted the last time you were here, which is this giant bottle
got her in
of
bottle
Fireball. And I tipped Sherry off on what all, you know, we were having this week. So of course, so that one is for you. And you know, we don't do traditional shot glasses. We do, you know, these big boys, these biggins. So what we're gonna do,
No,
Are you gonna funnel? Is that what that? Jeez.
is she
I'm
funny?
joking. No, that last show, I remember you go, oh Jesus, she whipped out the straw. I don't have the straw this time.
She's got, so what is it? She's got the home run hose. Like, did you ever hear about that with the Orioles? Like,
I got
yeah,
no, I don't
Sherry. I don't know if you follow baseball any at all.
I do. I was gonna ask you, how's your team doing?
Have you seen the Orioles home run hose yet?
No.
What they have, they say it's for water, and they're getting a lot of criticism for it. But like they do this thing where they like do like the sprinkler every time they get on base, and then like they shoot water, like a water faucet out of their mouth. But then they got the home run hose, which is this long beer bong looking tube hose that they drink water out of. And everybody's like, that's a beer bong. That's not right for the children. And I'm like, let them fucking have fun. Who cares? Like, you know how much money
right. Like the guy next to you's not shit faced right now.
Just imagine this. The Orioles are a very young team. Actually, the Orioles are probably playing right now. I'm a huge Orioles fan. Of course, everybody can see on the camera back there. I have an actual base from Camden Yards that I got to steal from Camden Yards during an actual game. They
actually wearing Orioles shirt today.
And so it's funny because I'm like, imagine the Orioles make it to the playoffs and they have the home run hose and they sell those at the stadium. And during the playoffs, all you see is every time they hit a home run, people doing the fucking home run hose in the stands. Like that would be chaos and madness. Like
that sounds like a very good marketing decision. I would
totally,
like just fix games just so they did.
Yeah, I would pay great money for a home run hose there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to it with the Fireball. Cheers, Matt. Cheers, Sherry. Oh, look at that. You know, like, so one thing, it's funny. I always make fun of my wife for it, and Matt has seen it as well. My wife cannot do a shot to save her life. Like, especially if it's like a really bad, like hard to drink shot.
Hotter. It's now it's getting hotter.
Well, she sips. Like she'll sip her shot. I'm like, no, you gotta like do that shit. Because I'm like, if it's something that's like
just
really
prolonging the inevitable.
Imagine when we had that nasty gin.
The Polo.
Like, actually, we had the Polo gin the last time Sherry was on.
Did we?
Like, yeah.
Oh my god, that shit was terrible, dude.
Like, what would you rather have, Polo gin or vodka?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Vodka you can't taste, right?
Oh, that vodka that he had out of that grenade,
the hand grenade,
that was terrible.
Hand grenade vodka.
That was terrible.
I think,
but I don't know. Yeah. I probably would go with the Polo though. I probably would go with that Polo.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, how was the Metallica?
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Was it? Good.
Oh my god, it was amazing. We loved it.
Yeah, we drank the shit out of that. Yeah, that's been gone.
Yeah, that was gone quick. Like because we finished the Polo gin And then we moved on to the metallic. Of course, shout out to Sherry. Sherry is awesome. She's probably one of the nicest people we've ever had on our show. You know, she sends
I
us.
get them drunk. They got to drink me to a tan.
Like you sent us the rock and roll cookbooks. Every year you send us like, you know, the cocoa bombs or whatever and all that stuff. Like it's great. It's amazing. And like, it's so appreciated, you know, and I'm like, Sherry's just so awesome, you know. But no,
But we're gonna go waterboard ourselves at the next Oriole game.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I mean that's the whole thing. Like, you know, they have the home run chains and all that stuff, and they're all young guys. Like, I mean, Sherry, if you watch the Orioles, you sit there and you look, and it's a bunch of young, good-looking guys on the team. Like, that's it. They're all like between the ages of 21 and 25. Of course, Adley Rushman is the #1 draft pick star catcher that we have on the team. And he's the face of the franchise. They're building a team around him. And I mean, the guys are just out there having fun. I'm like, you know what? I'm for it. If they're having a good time, you know.
Yeah. No, my dad and I, we're huge Dodger fans, LA Dodgers. And they did the same thing. They cleaned house last year at the end of the season. And they got a young team, and I'm learning who's on the team and everything. But it's kind of exciting. But with if Las Vegas gets a ball team, so does that mean they get first draft pick because they're new, or how does that go?
I don't think so, because it's a relocation. So I think since it's a relocation, then they kind of stay where they are. But if the A's are wise, keep losing. Like, that's kind of like, I feel like the last couple of years, the Orioles, like, they knew they were bad. So they were like, well, look at it this way. We finished last. We get #1 draft picks, which they kind of did the last 4 years. Now our team is hot shit because we have all those draft picks that we traded for. So, you know, the A's are kind of in a rebuild, you know, themselves as well. But I think Vegas, like, apparently Vegas already started making merchandise up.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders, oh my God. Like, there's huge support for those guys here. And, oh shoot. Yeah, no, it's exciting, but I was just going to ask you something about, I just lost it, but are you watching? Did Aaron Judge come down to the Orioles before? Remember, he's a free agent at the end of last season.
No, he re-signed a good deal with the Yankees or whatever and all. And I mean,
he was in he met with San Francisco, the Dodgers. I didn't know if he met with your team.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he would have came to Baltimore, like, he would have been cranking home runs out. But I think, like, one thing people are getting mad about is that the Orioles haven't signed any big names like that. But we're going through the whole rebuild, and like the young team that we have, and they're producing. Like, no one expected them to make the playoffs last year, and we came that close within like 3 games of making the playoffs. So, you know, it's no longer a rebuild. Like, you know, the same guy, Mike Elias, who, you know, helped the Astros get to where they are, is now our general manager. And the map he had for the Astros, the Orioles have already quickly more progressed than what, you know, the Astros did in the timeline that the Astros did it. So, you know, it's exciting. It's fun to watch. And of course, right here in the live stream, Jason said, cheers, everybody. And then Dawn said her husband just watched the Cubs play the Dodgers in LA. And I think the Dodgers, I was reading something, I forgot who it was, but they recently re-signed a player that they had since 2018 to a contract. And he's not playing, but he's schizophrenic. And they re-signed him to his deal so he can get treatment for his schizophrenia. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's a cool thing to do so he can keep his health care through, like, you know, the ball club and, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's still that Gold Star owners. I think it's Magic Johnson and friends. But wow, yeah, no, I think I did read about that. So,
and what we're gonna do real quick, Sherry, we're gonna take a break. So we're gonna play a couple of ads and, you know, stuff that's upcoming for the show and all that stuff. We're gonna take like a quick little 4-minute break, you know, in case you need to use the bathroom or a drink, something like that. And then when we come back, we're gonna get into our game segment, which has grown substantially since the last time you have been on the show. So that's going to be fun.
I'm going to have another shot.
you still have a while to hang out, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I guess something may have came up. Caitlin, unfortunately, has not came through, but hey, that happens. That's what happens when you have a live program. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break, and we will be right back here shortly, live on YouTube Live with the Happy Hour podcast.
Hey, this is Alex Cole, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
But with a hard on.
Make sure you check out our friends located over at Hysteria Brewing Company. They are at 9570 Burger Road, Suite J in Columbia, Maryland. Make sure you pop out, say hey to Ty, and try their featured brew, Trash Panda, along with all the other crafted brews they have in hand. Once again, that's Hysteria Brewing Company, 9570 Burger Road, Suite J in Columbia, Maryland. See you guys there.
I just need a little more money. Yes, I told you my luck was gonna change. All you do is tell Crystal what you want.
This is amazing.
Welcome to the Crystal House!
Hi.
Come on, bring it in.
It's like I'm in a fucking Stanley Kubrick movie.
No!
Yo, this is Jarvis Red, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're right here on YouTube Live. Of course, there's a word from some of our sponsors right there. And Cherry, of course, when that movie comes out, make sure to shoot us a trailer for it. We'll play it, during the ads and all that fun stuff. So shout out to everybody. With that, of course, you saw the ad for the HH Pod Rumble. Those are the participants that have been announced so far for the HH Pod Rumble. Which features our game right here, Incoherent. Sherry, last time you were on, did we play Incoherent?
Yep.
I can't remember. Okay, so
Yep.
Incoherent is still a part of the show itself. But we've added a couple. What the hold on, what the hell is that?
Happy
You son of a
birthday.
bitch.
Happy birthday
to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday, dear Ray. Happy birthday to you.
And we can't show the top of what.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, we can. We sure
So,
can. Look,
you know what? After showing goats having sex,
we showed
earlier,
goats having sex. This is totally acceptable.
Now, hold on. Where the hell did you have that made at? Like, and also, I'm on a diet, and you bring me down like double D cake. Like, I was wondering what Jess was like flipping out about.
Well, why you could ask our guest, Sherry.
Happy birthday, big guy.
Oh,
This whole thing.
are you kidding me?
But Matt's the engineer because I said, is he a boob or a butt guy? He goes, boobs.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Where did that get made at?
Oh gosh.
I still have the card. The guy gave me a business card and
You're messing
everything.
the cards up.
He's a great guy because after I talked to him, and the ladies out there will appreciate this, he goes, I have to tell you, when you get the cake, one boob might be bigger than the other. They're never equal.
Well, that happens sometimes. Sometimes, all boobs are created equal. All right, like sometimes
They just might not be shaped.
Yeah,
equally.
I'm actually shocked that the dogs did not attack you while you were carrying that cake.
They must be boob guys too. No, or maybe they're butt guys.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well,
Thank you. We're going to have a picture. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of that right now, and we're going to post it on social media of the cake itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot of that right there. I didn't even realize that.
The cake needs its own camera.
Yeah.
Best wishes.
Best wish. So real quick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to post that once we're no longer live. But that's absolutely amazing. And the dogs are now killing each other upstairs because Matt went up there and disrupted them. But that's awesome. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. That was just coming off the heels of saying how awesome Sherry is. Yeah.
So Matt had a hand in it.
Matt definitely had a hand in it. His hand was like
I was
clenching
pressing
tits.
it.
He's
like, I mean, it's it may or may not have a cream filling.
No, we'll post it, but it was their cakes are so amazing, and they do butt, they do boob, they do it all. So there will be a link down below, I'm sure. So people
yes, we can.
And they were fast.
They were fast.
That's awesome. They go, okay, we made the cake, but there's one problem. It lactates. And it's just like, wait, what do you mean?
So yeah, we're gonna have to put this guy in our link thing. The guy was James.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely shout him out. Man, that's cool. So Washington DC erotic bakery cakes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's where
you know what? We should go up there and interview him. We should do one of the full fermented episodes. I'll reach out to him 100%, and I would love to go up there and do a fully fermented episode with him. That is awesome.
Bring him on the Rumble show.
It's one that's great.
Yeah, this is the review I dropped him. It's he's a really good guy. He stayed with me on the phone the whole time.
Did you pick that? When did you get that? When did you pick that up?
Yes, was it yesterday?
Okay, so
it was yesterday.
So you went home.
And anyone ordering James, he's got charisma. So when you order, he's a funny guy, but they are busy.
Nice.
Yeah, so give yourself a week to get a cake, but yeah, he was busy.
He drove
he brought it. Okay, so
and they drove it to me.
Really?
Now, the only thing is, I guess
that Uber delivers.
I guess it's
now.
Like the policy they have. The only policy is you have to be there to get the cake, and you have to remove the cake yourself from the car.
Okay.
So the driver's not held accountable.
I wonder if the driver,
say I took it and behind the bushes and did my thing with it.
Yeah, like Matt's just abusing those tits.
Well, it was the driver, I swear.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if the driver peeks in that box, Like, I mean,
Right.
like,
Well,
I
here's the
mean,
thing.
if
Yeah,
I
you get
was
yeah,
driving-
you get the cake with a handprint on it.
yeah, you get it, and like you notice that like the driver may have been like, yeah,
So,
like the nipples.
so shout out
sticking
to
of the cake.
shout out to James, like the delivery
Yeah,
system.
shout out to
They've
James.
got it
That's
all taped up.
awesome.
So nobody
Yeah.
can tamper with it. I
Yeah.
mean, he was communication with me all the
That-
time.
Yeah, that is the
I'm
most-
talking literally. He was like, "I'm an hour out, 40 minutes out, 20 minutes out." I was all like, "Damn!"
Yeah.
He was all like, "Now just stand in your driveway and wave at the
Yeah.
driver." I was like,
What,
"Okay."
what did the wife say when that cake showed up at the house and you had to put it like? Did she?
I said, "I swear it's not mine."
Well, it says Ray 38, really big on the time. What, like, did you show that to?
No, she
the
actually
kid?
didn't
No.
see it. I'm going to
She-
show her
okay,
tonight.
cool. Did you tell her what it was though?
Yeah, she knows it was a
that's cool.
cake.
That's awesome. That's really
And they ship all across the United States, so it's not
Yes.
just in the
Awesome.
East. So hopefully
so we'll
James will get
Yeah, we'll link him. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have him do a makeshift commercial for us, and we'll have him include that cake
Yeah.
on there. And you know,
he's got a great voice. And
Yeah,
like I
James
said,
is
he's
awesome
funny guy.
Yes,
awesome,
he is.
awesome. Well, definitely, and you know, I've been trying to get the next fully fermented together.
We
This
may have just figured it out.
I'll reach out to him and we'll take a drive. We'll go up there because I'm sure like he has a shop where he has like all kinds of different cakes. I'm sure he has photos. I'm sure. I mean, if he's done that, I'm sure he's done some crazy cakes.
And it was
So-
quick too. They got that out pretty fast. That's why me and Sherry have been messaging each other. And I remember I texted you, I said, "Hey,
yeah,
Sherry, I don't know if Sherry got hacked, but she's like
Yeah.
texting me." And then
yeah.
and then you're like, "No, I think you said like, no, really, Sherry, I'm not stalking you or anything." I was all like, "Okay,
Yeah.
all right."
No, I needed your address, and then you gave it to me. And I
Yes.
go, I need your phone number, but I promise I'm not a stalker.
It's funny because it was the thing where I advertised Caitlin Bell as the guest co-host, and you thought Matt wasn't going to be here, and it's like, you know, it's always kind of like I never really mentioned that we're going to be here because I'm always a given
Right.
that I'm
And-
going to be here.
And most of the time I'm
but
here,
Matt's, you know, Matt's kind of a given too. Like, you know,
Well, and I'm really sorry Caitlin's not here because like a lot of my male friends rarely watch when I'm on a show, but they might still be there right now. They're like, ooh.
I don't know what happened. Like, of course, we just had something on Twitter, AVN Media Network, which of course we were 2023 AVN nominee for Best Adult Podcast. They just posted 45 minutes ago that she'd be on there. So I mean, stuff happens, stuff comes up. I mean, I haven't heard, but that's the issue when you go live. I learned from pro wrestling, card is subject to change. You know, we could have had something, Sherry could have had an emergency 5 minutes before we went live, but the bottom line is me and Matt still would have went live.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens when you run a live show,
When
but
you're in
that's
the business,
awesome.
you got to.
So what we're going to get, that's fucking, that's
Now you
so
got
funny.
these
We're gonna
big-
get into those boobs.
Right,
Yeah,
you got this
yeah,
big old
yeah.
boobs staring your face. Now you can't even.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into our game segment. So we just recently added a new game called Extreme Personal Questions. So what it is it has 2 questions on the card, question A or question B. What you're going to do is you're going to choose A or you're going to choose B. And then whichever one you don't answer, you're going to choose one of us
Okay.
to answer
Ooh.
the other. So Sherry, do you want A or do you want B?
B.
B. All right.
Good.
So
Nice.
so
Do you know what it is already?
so
Yes,
A,
we do.
yeah,
We
yes.
can see it.
A is what was happening the last time you had an orgasm in your pants?
Really?
She's like, really?
Yeah.
You chose B.
I'm a very good Canadian girl. I don't do that. You guys.
Yeah.
No, I.
Yeah.
What was the question? What was I thinking?
What was happening the last time you had an orgasm in your pants? She's probably regretting not choosing A.
Well, I was thinking about somebody, and I was driving to the gym, and I can't drive and take photos at the same time. But there's this billboard that just went up, and I'm driving along, and it says, "When you think dirty thoughts, repent. The Lord believes in you." I'm like, oh no!
yeah.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
Sherry, I told you the show has
So
changed.
I was driving, and I was thinking, and I got punished for it.
It's like what was happening the last time you had an orgasm in your pants? Well, I was doing my show live, and then all of a sudden Matt came in with a cake
With a
with
cake.
with big gigantic breasts, as the cake.
And it helped me along.
And that's what happened. Thanks to Sherry knows.
You're welcome.
So now question A. So here's the thing. So question A, do you want to choose myself or Matt to answer question A?
Well, Matt's talking a lot this time. The last show I was on, he barely talked until probably 6 drinks in. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Matt.
Are we going with question A? Or B?
Yeah, you're going with question
A.
A.
So this one.
Yes.
What is the worst?
What is worse
What is-
than wearing white after Labor Day? Which is
Oh,
like an old man said.
see, this
Sherry's
is the
like, I
one-
should have chose
this is the one I
A.
should've-
Yes.
Dude, I don't know. I don't like.
having an orgasm in your pants when you're driving to the gym. No.
There you go. See, I don't really have an answer. Sherry can answer for me because, like, I don't.
Yeah. Well,
I don't care
have you
what you
ever-
wear if you
yeah.
wear white during like.
have you ever seen the movie Serial Mom? Has anybody ever seen the
There,
movie Serial?
dude,
Yeah.
I did. Yes.
Yeah. And in
And
that
she
movie,
kills that
she
like
kills the lady for wearing white
shoes. right, or
shoes
something like
after
that.
Labor Day. Like, watch
Um,
Serial Mom. It's an older movie. I think it came out in like the early 90s.
Yeah,
It was
I would say early.
it was
90s, like
Susan
very early.
Sarandon. It was some famous actress from around that time. I can't remember her name, but she would kill people for dumb
For
reasons.
dumb reasons.
Yeah, and one of them was some lady was wearing white high heels after Labor Day,
right.
and she like axed her to death in her kitchen, and it was
Right. And you know what changed my
and the
life?
lady's like, why? And she's like, because you wore white, bitch. And I'm like, what?
And that happens at the very end after she did all this crazy shit. You remember what? You know what changed my life though? At watching that show or that movie, is there was a kid in there who was like a chronic masturbator or something like that, and she like burnt him alive. You remember that scene?
What?
But now I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Like, I'm never doing that in my life. Check me off from that.
Yes,
So,
it's a pretty wild movie.
So that is extreme personal questions. Of course, this is only, I think, the 5th episode that we've had that in there. So of course we also added Never Have I Ever. So Never Have I Ever, 3 random cards, drawn out of the box. And Sherry's like, oh Jesus. Like
Obviously I can't pick.
but these ones aren't that bad. Some of them are bad. These were randomly drawn. So the first one is never have I ever totaled a car.
Do I answer that or wait for the second?
Yeah.
Right. We drank, right? If we I've never totaled my car, but I totaled someone else's. Is that
It says totaled a car.
okay? All right.
Yeah.
Totaled.
So yeah, I've never totaled a car. I've been in a
I've
lot.
never.
I've been in many of accidents, but I've never
Well, see,
totaled a car.
the thing is, it's pretty easy to total a car because it goes by like the value of the car. You know what I mean? So and
Yeah, nowadays you could total it by hitting the ditch. So
right, yeah. So I was driving. I was a teenager, and I hit it was like an old Toyota something from like the 80s, and like I busted up the radiator and all this stuff. So yeah, the insurance company like totaled that like immediately.
Yeah, and it was
Because the
Kathleen,
radiator costs more than the car.
Serial Mom. It was Kathleen Turner. Thanks, Dawn. Dawn commented on the
Dawn's
stream.
the best.
Kathleen Turner, who played Serial Mom in that movie. And of course, so here's the second one. So the second one is never have I ever, and hopefully children do not watch this program, but in case so, put the cover up the children's ears for this next one. Never have I ever accidentally been the first person to tell a kid Santa Claus wasn't
no, never.
I don't think. Like
Yeah,
I've been Santa before. Like 2 years ago, I was Santa for my buddy Chris and his kids, and I dressed up. And like the costume that they gave me, I was like, dude, they're never gonna buy this. They're gonna know that.
Look,
I'm not staying.
my wife would kill me if I told my kids there was no Santa Claus. So
They're just sitting there being
That's
bad.
enough.
And you're like, look, you little shit. Santa's not real.
no, I go through the whole gimmick, dude.
Oh,
I put the milk and cookies out.
Here's
and
what we can do.
pears
We
for
can-
the
we can
reindeer.
order a series of cakes from this cake place that says Santa isn't real,
What?
and send them to every elementary school in Maryland.
Oh my
And
god!
then when they open it up, they're just kind of like, what?
What about Tinkerbell?
You're a terrible fucking person. Okay, I'm gonna
Send them that cake.
I don't know. I mean, get them started. I don't know. Like Santa. I mean, that's a big deal, dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I first
Oh,
found out
yeah.
about Santa, dude. I was
devastated.
destroyed. Right, I was
Yes.
destroyed, dude.
Yes, I was devastated. And so here's the last one. So never have I ever been pulled over while I was on a date.
No,
I haven't either.
thank
I've
God.
had a cop show up, but, and I've told this story before in the show. I've had a cop show up and we sped out of there, but I've never been pulled over on a date. So it's, yeah.
Okay.
So,
So,
so that was pretty much.
These
so,
are good. These are rated G.
well, right, so I have, well, this might not be rated G. So back in high school, I was dating this girl. We pulled over to, just watch the stars. Let's say that.
Okay.
And the cop showed up, and everything. I'm going to say it. I'm on record. It was all consent.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got out of the car because the cop ordered me to get out of the car because he showed up. He had a spotlight on me and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my pants down because he told me, "Don't you reach for anything." Don't you? So I was standing.
Really, can I at least take my hand off? I'm not reaching for it.
So I was standing there completely naked. Well, I had my shirt on, and I got my hands up.
Cover yourself up. I can't reach for anything.
And he goes, "What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?" And I kind of was all like, "Well, my girlfriend's in the car," and he's all like, "What? What do you mean?" And she was all like, so she had to like peer her, embarrassing for this woman. I'm
She had to
sorry.
just peek her head up.
She's like, "Hi," and he's all like, "Oh my God." He's all like, he's like, "Now everything's okay here, right? He's not raping you or anything." He was,
Oh,
Wait, whoa, that was his question.
maybe she was you. No.
And-
I mean, if you have someone held captive
And
and
she
you're
said-
doing that, do you really think they're gonna
Well,
say
look,
yes?
man. Well, look, you don't know. Now that I'm
Yeah.
grown,
Yeah.
I could imagine what that looked like.
Yeah.
But she, she cleared me and everything. She was like, "It's all okay." And he was all like, "You kids need to put your clothes on and get the hell out of here." So
What kind of car were you in? Because
I
I'm
was
wondering,
in-
is that the Magnet?
I was in my Ford Probe,
Ford Probe.
like 19. It was a 92, 94 Ford Probe.
Well,
I mean, my Probe was the
yeah,
shit. Bro.
mine was similar to yours. I think I've told this story before on the show, which it was me and my friend Chris, and we were playing Truth or Dare with two chicks. And dares led to one thing or another. And it was the night I lost my virginity, and I had an 88 Camaro.
Interesting.
I had an 88 Camaro. And
With the
so,
T-top?
Camaro.
not with the
Oh,
T-top.
damn.
It didn't
You're
have,
a stud.
it was an 88 Camaro IROC Z.
Well,
I missed that car to this day.
well, Jesus Christ.
But,
I
yeah.
always wanted one of those,
Yeah.
but I can't
Yeah.
sleep with you
Yeah.
now because you didn't have T-tops. You didn't have
And
T-tops. I
so
can't sleep with you.
It's the kind of thing that things were happening. And then, like, as things were happening, like, my buddy's in the front seat, I'm in the back seat. So as things are happening in the back seat, I see him adjusting the rear view mirror. And I look up and my eyes meet his eyes.
Oh my Lord.
And I'm looking and he's like, "Ray, shut up. I'm not looking at you. Let me enjoy this."
So you're
Yeah,
you
yeah.
found out your friend is a voyeur, okay?
Yes,
Oh,
he's
Lord.
doing whatever in the front. And then all of a sudden we see blue and red lights, and it has to be the kind of thing that since he's in the front and I'm in the back, he turns the car
Oh,
on, throws it,
stops.
and just speeds out of
Yeah.
the fucking
Oh, so
parking
that-
lot.
okay.
Yeah.
So I had a Ford Probe, and my thing back in high school was getting probed in the probe. That was my thing. Yeah,
that's a good little twist on that.
yeah. It was high school. Okay, leave me alone, bro. Like, all right,
Sherry's just sitting there thinking to herself,
you frat
why?
boys.
Yeah, she's sitting there thinking to herself, why did I ever agree to come back onto this show?
Time for a shot. No.
You take another shot.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not judging it.
Now,
All right,
and
so moving
of
on.
course, so we're gonna move on to Incoherent. So, of course, Incoherent, you guys may have seen during our break the HH Pod Rumble advertisement. So the HH Pod Rumble will be decided off of Incoherent. So we're gonna have 30 people come back. We're gonna play Incoherent, and then if they can't answer the cards, they're eliminated. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play we're gonna play Incoherent right now, and Sherry needs to sound out these cards and let us know what she thinks these cards say. So the first one, so let me go ahead and do this. I guess since you showed me that one, I'll go ahead and get the worst one out
Get
of the
that one-
way.
let's
Yeah,
get
I'll get
the
the
bad
worst one
one
out of the way
way.
first. So what do you think that no, that's not actually it's not that one.
Okay,
So,
all right, cool,
Hold on.
cool.
It is
So this
it is
isn't the
this
bad one.
So
All right.
what do you think that says?
I want to say tundred.
No.
How?
It's 3 words. You need a hint?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first hint is not up or clean.
So it's the opposite of not up, and then the opposite of clean.
It's under.
And it says a person who is willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Pretty much, Matt
Much
was
like
doing
that
this
girl in high school.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matt was doing this in his probe.
That's terrible.
He was doing
I'm gonna have to
something.
private message that girl now. Say I'm sorry.
Are you tapping out?
I'm tapping out.
All right, so it is down and dirty. So when you look at town,
Oh, I never would have got that.
down the dirty. So it is down and dirty. So this
Time
is
for a shot. No.
this is the next one. So what do you think that says? Which I've actually never
I've never
heard
witnessed
this
it.
term myself.
I go.
So yeah,
Well,
if you don't get this, then that's fine. But I've never
even heard of it. No.
So one of the hints is one too many. So this happens when you've had one too many, but it's like blacking out minus the whole not remembering the stupid things you did part.
At first I thought it was pronoun, but it's not.
No,
So-
this is when you're getting turned up, you know. What I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. When you're getting drunk, so pretty much, and it's weird because I've never heard this
Me
myself.
neither.
I
Because
think-
I
think-
always go
yeah.
straight to that.
Yeah, I think I might just give it to her because it says like blacking out. So you think blackout when you
Right.
drink. It's brown out. So I guess
Never-
brown.
Never would have guessed that. I
The-
never heard that.
I've heard of brown out
me,
myself.
like I said, me neither. Because whenever I used to drink like heavily back in my, days,
Back in my day.
I'd always go straight to blackout. Like I brown out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Matt, you got so turned up here, you passed out face down
I
in the
have,
shower.
dude,
Like
yes.
that's so. All right.
Yes,
so
I have done that.
what do you think this one is, Sherry? Which is the worst out of all of them? And this is a quote from
Our
former President Donald Trump.
Oh,
And it was a very controversial quote that he said.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
we don't know if he
Yes,
actually said
allegedly.
it.
And it says a
but
magic
it
spell
sounds
that
like
gets
somebody
you
said it.
46.1% of the public vote. So it is.
grab her by the bush.
Ah,
You got it.
Got it. Awesome.
You got it. You got that off the bat. Like,
Yeah. That so
As soon as you said President Trump.
yeah.
yeah. So the hint was Trump advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All you gotta do is get in there, grab him, and
All
lock 'em
right.
in.
So of course, this is our Ode to Humanity segment. And Sherry, you've played this before. Of course, we end this segment with Cards Against Humanity. So when we did it last time, did we have cards that you could choose from, or did we
No.
have you do roulette style?
Yeah, no, it was like terms of grass or something.
Okay. So what we do now is with
Well,
the
it's
game,
convenient.
we do it roulette style. So we're
Okay.
going to read off the face card, and then you're going to give us a random number 1 through 6 as a lucky number to randomly answer that card. So the first one is Major League Baseball has banned blank for giving players an unfair advantage. So what do you think? 1 through 6?
Or
4. All right. All right. So, and you get 2 rebuttals. So if you don't like the answer, you can choose another card. So the first one is Major League Baseball has banned the violation of our most basic human rights we're giving players an unfair advantage. Do you like that card, or would you like to choose another number?
And I like it.
You like
You
it?
like it?
Okay. All right. Cool. And so here's the second card. The second card is say it loud. I'm blank and I'm proud. What do you
Yours.
think? 1 through 6.
6.
6. All right. So say it. That's
It would be the last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, right. All right. I can count. Leave me alone.
Say it loud. I'm funneling money through a series of shell companies, and I'm proud. Sherry likes that one. All right, so she's
Still
I like it.
that. All right.
Today.
So-
Don't do that at home though, kids, but it's a good one.
So that is our Ode to Humanity segment. Sherry, I'm so sorry if we have scarred you for life. As I said, the show has taken so
I
many.
love coming back here. It's fun times.
So what we're gonna do, we haven't actually done this segment in months. We haven't done this segment in
Oh,
months,
no.
mainly because we haven't gotten any new content for it. So we have a friend who is in a wheelchair and he makes food in an air fryer. And we never know what the fuck he makes. He never says what it is. And we always sit there and we look and we're like, what the fuck is that food? So tonight, with our guest Sherry, is the triumphant return of what the fuck is that food with Ray C. Hawkins. So Ray, actually, I saw online that he posted a new dish that he
Well, I
had
can't wait.
online.
Can't
So, and I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, I ditched the
What?
the
Oh,
how did we get here segment,
He's
and
getting
now it's
better, I have
he's
to
getting a little
say.
bit better. So Sherry, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this up on the screen, and we're gonna try to figure out what this is, and then you're gonna name it, but also say if you would eat it. So here we go. So here's the image right here. So that's that, and then there is also a farther out image. So that's the farther out image. So what do you think that is?
Poutine.
What is it?
I think it's poutine, fries with cheese and ketchup, maybe.
Oh shit! Like that. That's actually kind of an accurate because that does look
And
like
I would eat it.
on the bottom. And you said cheese and ketchup. Like I feel like that might be an egg.
Well, that's what I thought at first too. So maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel like
breakfast
it's a
of
little bit
champions.
of the yolk with that, and like
Yeah,
So with that, so would you eat that?
Mhm.
definitely.
Okay, I would eat that. And if you were to name that, what would you name that?
Ah, egg poutine.
So Matt, what about you? Would you
Yeah,
eat that? And
I-
what would you name that?
Shit. I don't know what I'd name it, but I would definitely eat it. It's gotten way better. The last shit he was posting, dude, I was like, what the hell is
Yes,
this?
yeah. A
I was
lot.
waiting for you to put a shoe on there.
I would call that the John R. Brinkley goat cheese special.
Oh,
That's,
no.
that's what that is. The John R. Brinkley goat cheese special. So, and of course, I know we advertised Caitlin Bell as our special guest co-host. She didn't come through for some reason, but that happens. Sherry, of course, last time you were on, you had a bunch of stuff for us, like questions, trivias. By any chance, do you have any of that stuff this time, or?
No, and I should have. I don't. No, I know. I was thinking about some risque Las Vegas trivia, but I thought, no, I don't want to bother. I figured there'd be too many people to play.
No, it's fine. And Sherry, of course, we're gonna let you go ahead and get ready to get out of here soon, because of course we started at 7:30, and I'm sure you are probably so stressed from the turmoil we have put you through this episode that you probably need to finish that entire bottle of Fireball. But what all do you have coming up, and what all of course what all has been going on? As I said, it's been a long time since you've been on the show.
Yeah. Well, I'll be going back to Canada in June, so I'll be there for a little bit, and then I'll be in your neck of the woods, so in the fall. So
Okay.
hopefully I'll see you guys in person, and
Sure,
if the Orioles are still playing, maybe we'll go take a game together. So
Sweet.
yeah, no, I'm happy everything is back to normal, and I'm happy there's a palm tree out my window, and it's all good. So, and you guys please come down and
Oh yeah, if we
Yeah,
if
of
we ever
course.
come to Vegas, we'll
We'll hit
reach
you up.
out. and all that stuff. Like it's been a couple of years since actually it's funny, and I'm not sure if I
I've
told
never
you
been
this,
to
like
Vegas.
the last time me and
love
my
to go.
wife went to Vegas, 2 days after we left, the Vegas massacre happened.
Holy shit.
Because I
Oh,
remember
no.
people were texting us saying, "Oh my God, are you guys okay?" Because they thought we were still up there. And
Yeah.
it's weird because we actually briefly, very, very briefly mentioned that concert that was happening where that massacre happened. And we were like, well, we don't, because we actually went up like for our anniversary. So that was like a couple of days after. So like we kind of like rerouted the days to go up, for our actual anniversary. But we were just kind of like, yeah, that we're kind
No,
of
that event is still a dark mark. My best girl, Wendy, she came down from my hometown, and yeah, they've got the names of the people on the sidewalk, and it's the lights are dimmed where it happened. So yeah, it's still a heartbreak for the city here.
Wow.
That's crazy. And of course, of course, you have the movie coming up. So have you done anything else besides like the movie? Like, have you just been like hanging out, like getting your gear? Like, I know you said like, I think we talked a little bit. Is this like the first like podcast or show like you've done in a
Yes.
while or something?
You're my first. Yeah.
She's like, you're my first, and she's like, this is the last time I'm going to do.
No, the liquid courage helped me. But yeah, no, I'm happy, and no, you guys are the best. I was telling everybody because, like I said, a lot of my friends, they were excited to meet Caitlin, and I said, "Oh no, Ray and Matt are the best," and I'm glad Matt's here because I thought, Matt, I need you.
Well, it's funny because you said last time you were on, Matt didn't say much, and it's funny because that's when the show was still kind of in its
new.
infancy a little bit. And I remember looking at Matt one night. I was like, dude, just be you. Just sit there and talk like the way we do when we're talking when the camera's not rolling. And ever since from there forward, Matt has just been Matt.
It came out of my shell.
Yeah, it's fullest extent. And but no, Sherry, honestly, I appreciate you. As I said, you're probably one of the nicest, coolest guests we've ever had in the history of the show.
You've had how many drinks? No.
No. Like I honestly, I drank 1.5 beers. That's it. Yeah, because I'm on, my
He's on
diet and all that
yeah.
stuff. So I don't even really drink all that much anymore. I know that sounds weird because this is the happy hour podcast, but no, like I am very, very so appreciative for the cake. You did not have to do that. Like
No,
that.
no, Matt helped me, but no, you're great. You got a good show, and everybody loves it. So, and yeah, no, you were my last show. Now you're my first show. So hopefully that's a good omen. But no, I appreciate you even considering me.
Jerry, anytime you want to come on to our train wreck, our complete train wreck of a show, you're always welcomed 100% with open arms. And I know we'll definitely see you somewhere down the line and all that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up here on YouTube Live. Would you be able to hang out for us a couple minutes after?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live. Of course, this weekend is our final of the double shot weekends that we've been having. Of course, we're going to be live again, once again, here tomorrow night on YouTube Live. Our featured guest is Sarah St. Clair. And then after that, we'll be back again the following Sunday, April 30th, with Brenna McKenna. She will be joining us. And then May 3rd with Maddie Lynn Bricks. She was a part of The Challenge. So if anybody watches The Challenge on MTV, she was a part of that, of course, Party Down South, and she was also briefly on Floribama Shore. So she will be joining us on actually that's May 9th. I'm sorry, that's May 9th right here on YouTube Live. So what we're going to do is Sherry, once again, thank you for joining us here on the Happy Hour podcast. I'm going to take one more glance at the stream and see what's going on. And Dawn said that she was married in Vegas, and she also said she for real is a doll. And she said, thanks guys, have a great weekend. And Dawn said she is scarred, JK. So Dawn, thank you for tuning into our show. Hopefully we see you again sometime down the line. Of course, it's a lot of times, if no one really knows much about the show, they'll come on and be like, man, these guys are really balls to the wall. But like there's not a lot of edgy content like this out there anymore.
No, it's the best. And like I said, it caught a lot of guys' attention back home. So
yeah. So, but what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live for everybody who tuned in, for anybody who is seeing this on YouTube itself afterwards. And we also, of course, breaking this down in the clips on all of our social medias over the next couple of days. Anybody seeing that, we appreciate it. And make sure you click the subscribe button down at the bottom of the screen. And we will see you guys next week right here on Happy